Hello students, this is Shyam, you are watching Shyam Academy. In this session, we are going to discuss about some important examples under the section of aromaticity. So let's get started. In this compound, according to the experimental studies, the value of barrier of rotation only about 14 kilocalories per mole. That means, so the rotation energy required for the rotation of that labeled double bond is just required 14 kilocalories per mole. So why this much low energy is required for that rotation of double bond? So that is the question asked in previous exam. So what is the answer? So if you see that compound, there is an oxygen atom, okay? So due to electronegativity of the oxygen atom, we know that, so the electrons shifts towards the oxygen. Then what happened? This double bond moves towards this carbon, okay? So then, so ultimately what will happen here? There is a formation of single bond resulting of transferring this electron pair towards this carbon. Here we get positive charge and here we get negative charge, okay? So then you see that, so this, what is this compound? This is a cycloheptatrienal cation, okay? Here also you can see that, so this compound is also getting aromatic property. That is the reason why both rings are getting advantage over the transfer of electron pair towards the oxygen ring. So that is the reason why this compound requires very low energy, low barrier energy, or we can say that low rotational energy. So that compound is resulting to an aromatic compound. So that is the reason this compound has a very low barrier rotation energy, that is 14 kilocalories per mole, okay? So that is the reason. Next example, this one. Take this compound, this is indolysine, okay? So when we reacting the indolysine with ethyl carboxy substituted acetylene molecule, then what happened? Here you can see that, so there is a triple bond in this compound, okay? So then what happened? So this one transfers to this carbon, then ultimately this bond transfers here, this bond transfers here, and this bond transfers here. So, and this bond will form here. Then this compound is formed. You see that, is this aromatic or non-aromatic? Because it is non-aromatic, because there is no chance of conjugation at all. So this compound is non-aromatic compound. Then, so when we react this compound in presence of palladium catalyst, okay, dehydrogenation, then this compound is forming, okay? Here one double bond, here one double bond, two double bonds are forming here, okay? Simply this one is an aromatic compound because there is a conjugation of double bonds throughout the compound. You can see this. So there is a conjugation, okay, due to the conjugation of double bonds, and also there is a huge possibility of delocalization of pi electrons. Here one thing is very important, that is the electron pair on the nitrogen is not at all involving in the delocalization, okay? So this is a strong aromatic compound. According to Huckel's rule, also this compound satisfying the rule, that is 10 pi electrons, 4n plus 2 pi electron rule. Let us go to this example, pentylene. So pentylene is unstable even at minus 100 degrees centigrade also. Explain. So you can see that the pentylene compound is highly unstable even you freeze that compound under minus 100 degrees centigrade. Why? Because this compound cannot be stable at all. Why? This pentylene, if you see that structure, it has 4 pi electrons, and also there is a conjugation of pi electrons, there is a delocalization of pi electrons, but that compound is not at all an aromatic compound. because it's following 4n pi electron rule. So this is anti-aromatic. We know that anti-aromatic compounds are very less stable than even non-cyclic conjugated compounds. So that is the reason this compound is not at all stable even at negative 100 degrees centigrade temperature. Okay, next example. This is anti-aromatic. Next, take this example, heptallene. Why this compound is heptallene? See that compound there, 2 7-membered rings, so we can call it heptallene. Take this example. So what is the question? Let us see. Heptallene undergoes additions with bromine and acids. Why? So why it is undergoing additions with bromine and acids? If you see the structure of heptallene, there are how many pi bonds? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 pi bonds. So like in the earlier example pentallene, here also there is a delocalization of pi electrons and there is a conjugation of pi bonds, and also it is planar. But why it is not stable? Why it is undergoing addition reactions with bromine and some acids? Because the answer is, it is a very high reactive compound due to the anti-aromatic property of the heptallene. So like that above example, this is also anti-aromatic and also very less stable. Okay, so that is the question asked in earlier exams. So count totally how many electrons? 6 pi electrons, so 12, 6 pi bonds, 12 pi electrons, satisfying Huckel's 4n pi electron rule but not 4n plus 2 pi electron rule. So it is anti-aromatic compound. Anti-aromatic compound. That is the reason. Let us go to another example. This one. Let us go to this example. So in this compound, you can see that it is aromatic or anti-aromatic. If the examiner give you that compound, okay, so you first look at, is there any oxygen atoms or is there any possibility of aromatic ions? Is there any possibility of structured ions of aromatic compounds? So let us see in this example, we are getting a di-ion compound. Okay, so it is itself restructuring into a di-ion compound. So that compound is very high aromatic in nature. So that compound is also aromatic compound. So let us go to that example. Let us see. So here you can see that there is 2 oxygen atoms. These 2 oxygen atoms, due to the high electronegativity of these high oxygen atoms, these electrons shifts towards the oxygen. Okay, then what happening? Here you can see there is 2 cations are forming at these 2 carbon atoms due to the nature of electronegativity of these oxygen atoms. Then we are getting this compound. So you see that, so is this aromatic compound? So that is a strongly aromatic compound because it is planar and also it is satisfying Huckel rule here, n equal to 0. So it is an aromatic compound. So it is itself transferring into this structure. Okay, so due to the aromaticity of this intermediate compound in itself, it is an aromatic compound. The examiner will not give directly the questions, so he will give you an indirect questions, so that through the concept, if you understand the concept clearly, then you can predict the answer very easily. So let us go to another example. If the examiner give you this question, is this compound aromatic or not? So see here, there is an sp3 carbon atom. Okay, so it is enough. So that is the reason enough. We cannot say it is not at all an aromatic compound, or also it is not a anti-aromatic compound. Due to the presence of sp3 carbon atom, we can say it is an non-aromatic compound. Okay, to say it is aromatic compound, then So what should we do? Simply you substitute the carbon atom with an ion, either positive charge or negative charge, cation or anion. So let us go to the example. If you take this compound with an cation, okay, if you substitute the sp3 carbon atom with an sp2 carbon atom, if there is a deficiency of electrons at this carbon atom, then what happen? This electron pair will shift towards the ring. Then ultimately there is a positive charge and there is negative charge. So if you see that, so this compound is an aromatic compound because there is a delocalization of pi electrons possible. So it is an aromatic compound. Next, if you take negative charge at this carbon atom, then it is an electron rich carbon atom. So the electron shift towards the upper carbon. Okay. Next, what will happen here? A negative charge, a positive charge, right, in this compound. So if you see, this compound is also an aromatic compound because here also the same. There is a possibility of delocalization of pi electrons and also it is a planar and there is no any sp3 carbon atoms. So it is an aromatic compound and also finally satisfying 4n plus 2 pi electron rule. There are 6 electrons. So 4n plus 2 pi electron rule. So it is aromatic compound. The examiner asks you indirectly, so he will give this compound, this compound, then he asks you, when I react this compound with an agent, by reacting with that agent, it will become an ion, either positive charge or negative charge, either cation or anion at the bottom carbon. Okay, then he will ask you, so after reacting that agent, that ionization agent, then so is it aromatic or not? From this example, it is an aromatic compound. Okay, so always in mains level, in advanced level, the examiner will not give you a direct example. Always he will test your conceptual capacity, how the concept you understood. Okay, let us go to another example. Compound is a 10 carbon aniline. Okay, here you can see that there is a 10 carbon atoms here. So if you count, there are 10 carbon atoms. So is this aromatic or not? So if you see that there is a conjugation of electrons, okay, and also there is a possibility of delocalization of electrons, that you think. Next, but it is not at all showing aromatic properties through the spectral studies because it not exists in planar. Why this compound is not existing in planar? Because there is an annular hydrogen interactions, steric interactions between these two hydrogen atoms. This compound will turn into a non-planar structure. Okay, turn into a non-planar structure. So this compound will get more strain due to the annular hydrogen interactions. It will get more strain itself, more strain. Which strain? Angular strain. You can say it is angular strain or steric hindrance, steric interactions or transannular interactions, hydrogen interactions. So it adapting immediately a non-planar structure. So even though there are conjugated pi electrons, but this compound is not at all showing aromatic property due to the strain, angular strain or transannular interactions between these hydrogens. This compound is adopting a non-planar structure. So it is a non-aromatic compound. Okay. So it is a non-aromatic compound. Okay. So let us go to another example here. Take this example, oxapine. So you say, see, is it aromatic or not? It is a direct example. Is it aromatic or not? If you see the structure, there are 1, 2, 3 pi bonds and also 1 electron pair on the oxygen atom. Okay, then totally there are 8 pi electrons. Even though they are conjugated pi electrons, but it is an anti-aromatic compound because it's not at all satisfying 4n plus 2 pi electron rule. It is satisfying 4n pi electron rule. So if the compound satisfying 4n pi electron rule, it is an anti-aromatic compound. Anti-aromatic compound. Anti-aromatic compounds are always a very less stable compounds than non-aromatic compounds due to the angle strain or due to the some interactions between the compound in itself. Next, take this example. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4 electron pairs. So 4 electron pairs means 8 pi electrons. It is also an anti-aromatic compound. Like this compound, here also anti-aromatic compound. Okay, next example. It is also an anti-aromatic. Take this compound, azonin. Is this aromatic or not? You see that here there are conjugated pi electrons, okay, and also there is a huge possibility of delocalization of pi electrons throughout the all carbon atoms, and also it is a planar compound, so it is an aromatic compound. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 electron pairs, that is 10 electrons. So if any compound has 10 electrons, it is satisfying 4n plus 2 pi electron rule. So it is an aromatic compound. Next example. So this example is very important. So you please concentrate. In this structure, we can see that after dechlorination, after elimination of this chlorine ion, then we are getting a cation. Okay, so is this aromatic or not? We have already discussed in our earlier classes. So this cyclopropenyl cation is very strong aromatic compound. So this is also an aromatic compound. The examiner will ask you indirectly that upon dechlorination of this compound, so is it aromatic or not? Then we can say that this is a strong aromatic compound due to the formation of cyclopropenyl cation. Next example, this one. So if you see, he will give that here bromocycloheptatriene compound. Okay, then it behaves ionic and also insoluble in non-polar solutions and all, but it is soluble in water. Why? Water is a polar solvent, so it is soluble in polar. Why? So the reason we know that this bromocycloheptatriene is not at all stable in this structure. So ultimately it will lose its bromine ion, then it forms a cycloheptatrienyl cation. Because the stability of the cycloheptatrienyl cation and also the aromaticity of this compound, okay, it is an ion. That is the reason why it is not at all soluble in non-polar solutions. Always it prefers to soluble in water-like compounds because it is an ionic compound, so it soluble in only polar solutions. So that is the reason. Next example. Here, this you can see these examples, these 3 examples. So these examples are coming from the concept of this example here. So you see, so we have discussed that 10 aniline means there are 10 carbon atoms in a monocyclic conjugated polyene, so that is aniline. So here we have 10 carbon atoms in this structure. Okay, so it is a 10 aniline and non-aromatic compound. So what should we do? So if we remove these 2 hydrogen atoms in the ring, then what will happen? So what we already told that there are a strong steric hindrance between those two annular hydrogen atoms. So if we remove those two hydrogen atoms, ultimately it will turn into a stable atom. Okay, let us substitute with NH group, or let us substitute with a CH2 group. Then you see the structure, how it is. This one. So here we are substituting with an CH2 group. Okay, and also, so here the removal of two transannular hydrogen atoms, so that this compound is getting stability. So because it is substituted by CH2 group, and also there is a possibility of delocalization of pi electrons, there is a conjugated pi bonds, and also this CH2 group, even though it is an sp3 carbon atom, but it is not at all disturbing the delocalization of pi electrons. It is a planar one. It is bypassing the pi electron cloud. So we can say that this is an aromatic compound. A very, very important example in examination point of view. And also here in this example also same. So this NH group will not disturbing the electron cloud on this ring. So it is an aromatic compound. Aromatic compound. So that's it for now, friends, in this today's class. I hope you understand all the examples. The examiner will not ask you directly, he will test you. That's it for now, students. Don't expect that examiner will ask you directly. So he will always test you indirectly in aromatic compounds. Okay, I hope you understand. If you have any doubts, please drop in the comment section. I will clear it. If you like this video, please like this video, and also don't forget to subscribe our channel SYAM Academy. Thank you. Peace out. Jai Hind.